good to be here.
I know, right?
I love this.
So, we didn't even talk about how to start. So we are the We Are Project, right? So this is how it got started.
Yep.
We're here because of Angela, and I really am here because of Angela and all the conversations that have happened over the past year, 2 years, so that we can find a world that we want to live in.
Right.
And so, Angela, tell us about your vision.
So the We Are Project launched after my presidency for NABO. And so one of the things that I continued to talk about or promote was equity in the business ecosystem. So towards the end of my presidency, I started looking at the startling statistics as it relates to African American women-owned businesses. And according to the American Express report, State of Women-Owned Businesses, it said that African American or Black women-owned businesses brought in an average annual revenue of about $24,000 per firm against our white counterparts at $218,000 per firm. And if parity were reached, it would have generated an additional $522 billion in those Black women-owned firms. And if parity were reached for all minority women business owners, then an additional $981 billion would have been generated. And for me, that's really where the spark for the We Are Project came from, to create parity in our ecosystem and to begin to even the playing field for Black women-owned firms and minorities as a whole. So when we think about just history in the making, we as in Black women are the fastest growing demographics as it relates to businesses, but we are the slowest revenue generating. And so when you think about history telling us where we currently are, it can also help shape the future for where we're going. And this is the introduction to International Women's Day Month. And without these beautiful women sitting beside me, I wouldn't have been able to make this project happen. And so, could you introduce yourselves quickly?
Start down there.
Okay.
I'm Tony Austin.
I'm Carrie Cowden.
And I'm Jackie Wazalek.
So just a little bit about these women and how they've contributed to the We Are Project box. So, gosh, when did we get started?
October. Oh, a year earlier, August
of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Let me just say, it's been a minute.
Things go quick.
They do go quick. But I shared my initial vision, and then these ladies just really rallied behind me to make it happen. And it's a joint project, and I appreciate them very much. And every chance I get, I always tell them how much I appreciate them. But pulling together really these two brilliant minds and their talent and creativity, we were able to put the box together, which shares some statistics about minority women-owned businesses, Black women-owned businesses. And so the whole concept behind We Are, You Are, I Am, and if you can't read it, it says creating parity for minority women-owned businesses. But the whole notion that we are stronger collectively together, and as we begin to engage in conversations with each other, the You Are is a reminder that, first of all, as I begin to speak about parity in my community, or you begin to speak about parity in your community, you become a reflection to the person that you're speaking to. So you are stronger together. And then the I am is an affirmation statement, and it just reminds me that I am stronger with my community. And so there are 52 We Are statements so these are the conversation cards. So there are 52 questions that you can have in your community, whether that's the workplace community, at home, or any association or community that you're part of, to drive conversations around parity or around what makes you unique, so that you can begin to identify what makes you stand out. So for example, week number 2, the question is, what is your superpower and how does it make you stand out? And there are conversations and there are questions in here where you can have deeper conversations around parity. So what is the mission? For example, if you're talking about it from an organizational perspective, what is the mission and how does it benefit the growth of everyone? There's some deeper ones that talk about defining statistics. How does your organization or the organizations that exist around you define statistics? And how does that really impact other people? Are you using those statistics to help grow or to help identify in numbers in other ways? So it just really helps you to challenge your thinking and the thinking of others. And then within the journal, there is a 52-week journal here where you have the weekly statements. This one says, we are, you are, I am invincible. And so there are some weekly reflection questions where you can look introspectively at yourself and maybe some biases that might exist within yourself, whether conscious or unconscious. So it allows you to really dive in a little bit deeper. So super excited about it. There is a sticker in the box where you can promote it on your water bottle or on your journal or something that you might have handy. And then along with your handy dandy notebook, there is a pen. So
And a t-shirt.
Your t-shirt says, we are, you are, I am creating parity. And parity in your community might look a little bit different than parity in my community. So I question, where are you really looking to create parity? Look within your community, because there is always some type of inequality that exists even within individual or smaller communities. So how can you begin to even the playing field within your community so that everyone is included?
Amen to that.
Amen.
I love it.
It is. We're just better together, and that's the reason I'm here,
Yeah.
right? As a woman business owner, I understand the challenges that I face. Add another layer to it, and there's a whole nother challenge. And all of the things that we don't even think about regularly through conversation really brings an enlightened perspective and view of the world. So it's one way to live in a world that I want to live in.
Right.
So,
Right.
I got involved because last year around George Floyd's death, I reached out to Angela because we had crossed paths through a bunch of different business ways, both women business owners. And I just knew the conversation had to start. So we started a page, Angela and Carrie Talks, and it's just us having conversations about questions as a white woman, what I can and what I say, and how that affects Angela, and how I show up and make her feel. And she was open enough to have the conversation. And then just when this all bubbled up to the top and being a part of all this, my company does these things, so it was easy for me to say absolutely, and reach out to even company owners within my industry and say, hey, do you guys want to jump on board here? But it's super cool to just have the conversation. That's the most important part, I think, right now, is that we all talk about it. It's not something we have to keep in the dark and not talk about, and history is there and we don't want to talk about it. No, we need to talk about it. We need to put it out in the forefront. So I would challenge you even to do this journal. We could get a group together on Facebook if you wanted and do it. If you have a Bible study that you're a part of, get them involved and do this for a 52-week turn. It doesn't have to be January to January, but it's a really great tool to really dig in and have that conversation, which is what we're asking here.
Absolutely. And mine is short and sweet. I'm a big advocate of being a part of my community and supporting, not only being a part of my community, but supporting women. And supporting women, that means inclusiveness. That means all women. And so that's why I'm here, to support and and it's a part of being a part of my community and being inclusive. And supporting Angela, who's fabulous, and her idea is fantastic, and you want to give your support to something that is positive, that's something that supports women, and I think it's just fabulous, and I'm just excited for Angela and what's to come.
There were 8 women, and let me just read out their names because I think it's very important so that you know who really contributed to this project. And even though all of them were not able to be here, I think that we should still share their information and tell you a little bit about them. So Dr. Nadia Brown with the Doyen Agency, she was part of the initial launch. Misty Flowers, Guidry, and she's owners of Teas and Me. Natalie Harris, she's managing member for Phyllis Hawkins and Associates. Tony Austin, which is right over here, owner of 4T Enterprises. And then Shelly Berry, she's business development officer at Gateway. Carrie Cowden, who is president of Connected Dots, and yes, she did the fabulous t-shirts, she did the fabulous box, the stickers, and the pins. And then we have the fabulous Jackie Wazalek, which is over here to my right, and Jackie owns My Luck Print. I always say it's the largest woman-owned print company in the Valley. I believe it to be true, so I'll continue to tout that.
We declare it to be true.
And she created these journals and also the conversation cards. And to Carrie's point, it's really about having the conversations, because conversations break down barriers. Conversations heal old wounds, especially as we are able to really get real with each other and really begin to address the systemic issues that exist in our country. Because once we turn a blind eye to them, essentially what we're saying is it's acceptable, it's okay, and we can continue to operate in that same way. And in order for us to really make an impact, we have to begin to challenge the status quo, so that we can be better than we were yesterday.
Yeah, exactly right.
Be the change.
Yeah.
Be the change.
Be the change.
We are the change.
Yep.
We are. We
We
are.
are the change.
You are.
You are. I am.
I am.
Love it.
Awesome. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Where do you order these awesome
Oh,
boxes?
shucks. Yes, where do you order them? So you can go to the weareprojectglobal.com. It will route you back to my website. And you can click on the We Are Project box, so purchase the box. The box is $99. And part of the proceeds will go to support at least 50 women in business by the end of the year. So one of the things that I often say, especially when I speak to women business owners, is that the difference between us making that $1 million or not is really beginning to separate ourselves and differentiate ourselves from our counterparts. One of the ways that we do that is through certification. All of us are certified WBEs. I'm certified in other areas like SBE, DBE, working on my minority business certification. And so part of the proceeds will go to support women business enterprises that want to get their WBE or MBE certifications at the end of the year. And then also some grant dollars will go back to Women's Enterprise Foundation, who helped me launch this project. Oh my gosh, yes. So I received a grant fund from them to launch the project. So some of the proceeds will also go back to them. So visit us at theweareprojectglobal.com. Order your box today and it will ship out to you soon. So, okay, so here's the challenge. So we want to sell 1,000 kits by the end of the year.
End of June.
End of June. 1,000 kids by the end
July
We are
1st.
women.
We'll have a countdown, the 1st of July.
So we've already sold 16 kits. Thank you so much for your contribution to the We Are Project so far. So that's 984 more to go. Will you guys accept this challenge with us?
Come join us. It's going to be great.
Come join us. We look forward to seeing you on the We Are Project Facebook page really soon. The first We Are statement will drop this Wednesday.
March 3rd, my birthday.
Oh,
That's the best, and the best day of the year is
Yes.
March 4th. Is that your birthday? It's the only, no,
March
it's the only verb in the calendar. March 4th.
March 4th. Oh my God, March 4th. I love it. So we'll see you guys on our Facebook page, the
March
We Are
4th.
Project.
To our Facebook page.
March 4th, but we'll be there on March 3rd. Talk to you soon. Okay, we are creating parity. You are creating parity.
And I am creating parity.
Can't do it without
Starts with all of us.
you. Bye-bye.